Let's look at the factors that determine aggregate demand. Factors, when we say factors that determine or factors that influence, you're most of the time supposed to explain like both sides, the positive side and then the negative side. So the first one we have is interest rates. Interest rates, if the interest rates are high, interest rates are mainly on borrowed money, like borrowed capital and all that. So if interest rates are high, it means that people will not borrow money and they will not have money to spend. So the demand for goods and services will be low, which will lead to low aggregate demand. And if interest rates are low, it means that people will be able to borrow, they'll have money to spend. Yes, so if interest rates are low, it means that the demand for goods and services will be high, which will lead to high aggregate demand. And then for income and wealth, if people have like high income, or if the buyers are wealthy, the demand for goods and services will increase, which will lead to high aggregate demand. And if the opposites, like if they have low incomes and then they are poor, the demand for goods and services will be low, and there will be low aggregate demand. Then for inflation expectations, inflation is the general increase in the prices of goods and services in a period of time, and most of the times it is a year. Yes, so inflation expectations, if buyers expect prices to increase like in future, current demand for goods and services will be high and aggregate demand will be high. And if buyers expect prices of goods and services to fall in future, current demand will be low. Current demand will be low and the aggregate demand will be low. Then the currency exchange rates, if there is an increase in the exchange rates, the demand for exports will decrease. The demand for exports will fall, which will lead to a fall in aggregate demand. Because if our currency appreciates, like if it increases in value, it means that our exports will become expensive. And remember, demand and what? And prices, they have an opposite relationship. Like if one increases, the other one reduces. So if our exports become expensive, the demand will reduce, which will lead to a low aggregate demand. And if there is currency depreciation, like the value in our currency falls, it will lead to increase in the demand of our exports because they will be cheaper. Yeah, so it will lead to an increase in aggregate demand.